Welcome back once again to howtocookgreatfood.com. If you have not already, it will be fantastic if you click that button and subscribe to our channel. On the menu today, and as you can see right here, going to be making a fantastic vegan bean chili. It's absolutely wonderful. I'm using 3 different types of beans today. And the veg you can add, it's up to you. I mean, I'm using some carrots, some broccoli, and some beans in there, green beans. It's really healthy, it's really quite fast, it's absolutely delicious. Let's go and do it. Alright, let's just run through a few ingredients here for this really simple bean stew, basically, nice chili. At the back here, today I'm using 3 different types of beans. You can use 1, 10, it's up to you. So I've got some white cannellini, I've got some black beans, and then I've got some pinto beans. I'm using tinned, they're from a can. If you're using from a can, make sure you wash them really well in some lovely cold water. That stuff that they come in is not so great. If you're going to use them fresh, I just don't have time to today. Make sure that you soak them well, cook them really well. So they're your bean selection that I'm using today. Here are our vegetables. And again, you can use whatever you like. Onions, completely essential, we need onions. But then I'm going to go with some spinach. I've got some chopped cooked spinach there. I've got a few little green beans and a little bit of carrot and some broccoli. But go ahead, do what you like, shrooms, potato, add anything you want to. I've got some fresh chili. I love that. You guys, if you watch the channel, know we're big chili fans here, so that's entirely up to you. I've got about 4 or 5 decent sized green chilies. A little bit of chopped garlic. Here I've got a roughly equal parts, these are like a teaspoon each of oregano, paprika, but today I'm using the smoked paprika. I've got some chili powder, cumin powder, and some salt and pepper. Now with paprika, just be very careful because there's 3 main types of paprika. One's the sweet one, one's a smoked one, and the other one's just hot. So you don't want the hot one because you've already got chili. You'll be putting double amounts of heat in basically. So go for the sweet one or for the smoked one, which I'm doing today. Going to finish it off with a little bit of cilantro here or fresh coriander, and I'm going to be using 1 can of plum tomatoes. So simple. Let's go and do this. Okay, so I've got the heat on. I've got my trusty pan here or pot, and in there I've got some sunflower oil, which I'm using today. You can use any oil you like. Maybe some olive oil would be nice. Let's start off by dropping in our onions and that little bit of garlic. And then now I'm just going to add these veg right away. These are, they're a bit harder, they take a little bit longer to cook. So again, if you're adding some potatoes or some other root vegetables now, you need to get them in about now. Okay, let's go in with our spices. So let's just recap on that. We've got salt and pepper, we've got cumin powder, chili powder, smoked paprika, and oregano. In it goes. Instantly smells amazing. We're on a kind of above medium heat here. And what I want to do, in fact what I'm going to do next is I'm going to get that spinach in. Like today I'm using spinach, so I've got some cooked spinach. You can use frozen stuff if you want. The frozen spinach is really convenient, or fresh if you like. So let's just break that in. What I'd like to do now is cook this for about 3 to 4 minutes on this kind of above medium heat, stirring all the time, just so we can soften our onions slightly, get that garlic happening and all our herbs and spices wrapped around our lovely vegetables that we've got in there. So I'll be back in about 4 minutes. This is cooking down beautifully. I'm really happy here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add our beans, the beans of your choice. I'm using these 3 today. the pinto, the black and the cannellini. You can use lentils in this as well. Some red kidney beans. Butter beans, you know, the list goes on and on, doesn't it? That's up to you how you go with this one. I'm using these ones today. Give them a lovely mix in there. I've got my fresh chopped green chilli, optional. You don't even have to do this, quite frankly, guys. I just like that extra kick. And then here I've got that can or that tin of tomatoes that I told you about earlier. You didn't see it. Anyway, it's a whole plum tomatoes. I've just roughly chopped them with my knife. Really roughly, in it goes. Give that a lovely mix in. Now what I want to do is I'm just going to lower the heat a little bit. Let's just cook that for about 3 minutes, just like that, stirring often. And then we're going to pop a lid on and cook it for a little bit longer. But first, let's just kind of cook it with the lid off just for a few minutes. Yeah, I'm really happy with this. The consistency could be a little bit wetter, but we're going to add the lid now. And sometimes when the lid goes on, it will steam nicely and it might produce a little bit. Even though I might add a little touch of water or something like that. But at this stage, yeah, it's not quite as wet as I want it. Let's get that lid on, lower the heat. I'm going to let that go now for about 7 minutes. Okay, let's take a look inside now. Let's get that lid off, all that steam out. And as you can see, I've not added any water to that, but it has kind of produced a nice bit of moisture, and it is now kind of where I like it. I mean, if you want it wetter, then you could add some more water to it. Now what I'm going to do is at the end here, I'm going to add some broccoli. I want my broccoli to be nice and crunchy. I don't like it all soggy. That's why I put it in at the last. And maybe if you were putting in mushrooms or something now, that would actually be a good time to put it in. Yeah, I like it nice and crispy and all that. So that's just me. Right, I'm going to finish this off now with some fresh coriander or cilantro. Or if you want, try a different fresh herb, but this works really well. You can check that for salt and pepper. I'm sure that's going to be fine. I'm going to pop the lid back on this. I'm going to let this go just for about another 3 to 4 minutes. Then I'll be back. Okay, off goes the heat. Let's have a little last look. Now that's lovely. I really love that. And that's pure goodness going on in there. I'm really happy. My broccoli's going to still be nice and crunchy. Now that is great with some jacket potatoes, for example, or just as it is. If you're not vegan, you know, you could, serve that in a bowl with some rice, a bit of cheese on it maybe could be good. I'm going with it completely vegan, so I'm going to have that. In fact, I'm going to eat that just like that. Just a bowl of that does me. It's fantastic. Hope you guys enjoy it. Add what you like to it. Like I say, add different veg, different beans. It's just so simple, really versatile, really healthy, good for you. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. That helps us out a great deal. And we'll see you soon. Lots of love.